This is a Lionel tinplate engine. This is Jason from JDStucks.
But it's made by MTH, correct?
This one is not.
Oh, no.
Welcome back, folks. Hope you're having a great week. As you can see from that opening clip, we're going to switch up the scenery a little bit this week and recap my trip to Detroit, where I got the chance to hang out with my good friend Jason from the YouTube channel JDStucks. And while I was there, of course, I grabbed a couple of new trains, which we're going to run tonight. We're going to run a couple of new Atlas passenger cars that I picked up, and this awesome GE 44 tonner, which we're actually going to run on Jason's layout. Naturally, while I was roaming about the room, I found the big engines. Jason has an incredible MTH Premier Big Boy and an MTH Premier Allegheny, the same one I have. So of course, we had to put those on the track because RBP and big steam goes hand in hand. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. We had some fun this week taking a poll on my community page about what engine should pull these fantastic U.S. Army passenger cars. And the votes came in. The U.S. Army Sharks, which are by Lionel, and the Lionel Vision Line GS2 were the top two engines. So let's see the passenger cars with the Sharks. Awesome. Those are really great diesels. They're probably some of my favorite diesel engines. And of course, the mighty GS2. Check this out. That GS2 is always a great engine to pull off the shelf. In fact, I might just have to leave it on the layout for a while. Now let's talk about my trip to Detroit. It started off with a Friday night meetup with the Detroit Three Railers. What a fantastic club, great group of people, and as you can see, we had some fun at Jason's expense. Jason is notorious for running MTH equipment, and while he does own a Lionel Legacy control system, he doesn't run any Lionel engines, so we had to take a couple of cracks at him when it came to running some legacy engines on the layout, like what you're going to see right now. We're witnessing another rare sight. What is it? What is that?
I don't know.
Do you know what the buttons do?
I think it's a television remote.
Well, you know, they're not going to make it anymore, so it doesn't really matter now, does it?
Great.
Thanks for being a good sport, Jason. So the Friday night meet was a ton of fun. Ate a lot of pizza, hung out with some great guys, and ran a lot of different trains. It was just neat to meet so many folks who are into the hobby. So Saturday and Sunday, we spent the majority of the time at Jason's layout, and Jason has a massive layout and it's under construction. Those of you who've been watching Jason's channel, he started on YouTube in 2009, so he's been at it a lot longer than I have. And his original layout, that you are probably very familiar with, was actually featured in Classic Toy Trains magazine in March of 2021. Here's a couple of images of that layout. But you'll see that now he is building a brand new layout, which is much larger. And I will tell you, it has an incredible design. Let's head over to Jason's house and sit down with him and learn a little bit about him and his layout. So here I am in Detroit, Michigan, with someone who needs no introduction. This is Jason from the channel JDStucks, one of the YouTube OGs. So Jason, thank you for letting me come crash at your place and see your amazing layout.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming to see it.
Before I started my own channel, I've been watching a lot of YouTubers, and Jason was at the top of that list. So it's really great to be able to be doing this with you, Jason. But what I wanted to know, and I think a lot of people are probably interested in this, is what got you started in doing YouTube videos around model trains?
Well, when I started out, there were very few YouTubers, let alone model train YouTubers. It wasn't a thing. It was very kind of uncharted territory, and it was back then it was just people would pull out whatever camera they had and point it at their layout and watch some trains go by. I was a senior in high school. I just got a digital camera for Christmas, and none of my friends were into trains. And I was building this layout, and I didn't really have anybody to share it with or to get feedback from. And suddenly there's this thing called YouTube, where everyday average Joe can post a video. And doing a quick YouTube search, I was finding a few people who were showing their layout. And I just figured, what the heck, what do I have to lose? Like, I'm starting a layout, I'll post a couple videos. And I think the first video I ever posted, I mounted a camera to the front of a car and I just pushed it around the layout. And
sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think maybe 2 people commented, and I was like, whoa, somebody watched this. Like, someone out there saw my layout and watched what I did and even said something nice about it. Like, and I think just because I consistently posted over the years, I mean, consistent is a relative term, you know, if I could post a few times a year, over the years, that just kind of continued and people just naturally started following what I was doing. And I guess I was doing something right, because 100 subscribers turned into 500, turned into 1,000, and like I said, ever since I started this layout, it's really taken off even more. But back then, I can remember, you know, myself, Nick, PGH Train Fanatic, and of course Eric's Trains was doing the same thing. He had just started his layout. Those 2 guys, I feel like, started around the same time that I did. And
I think so, because I mean, I've been watching, you know, Eric's Trains and of course Nick, PGH Train Fanatic. I've been watching them, I feel like, as long as I've been watching you.
Yeah.
As you can tell, this layout is under construction, and it's going to take some time because it's a sprawling layout. One of the largest layouts that I've ever visited and had the chance to run trains on.
This really is my dream layout. Even I get giddy when I'm moving trains around, and I'm like,
we all do.
I can't believe I'm actually doing this. Like, I dreamed about it for so long, and now it's happening. It's a really cool feeling.
His layout spans over 30 feet long and over 12 feet wide. So he maximized the space for as much train activity and scenery as he could. And his layout actually operates on 3 different levels. He can take a train on the main level and move it up to the top, bring it over a bridge and bring it back down onto the main level, and then he can actually take the train down underneath of the table to either turn it around or to park it. And he has tons of staging area for full-size trains. There's even trains parked under this table. So just a large operation and a lot of little intricate details, excellent track work, and working block signals all over the layout. Something I could only aspire to with my own setup.
So when the switch is thrown a certain direction, it tells the signal what to do. And when a train passes through, it drops that signal from green to red. You know, it's still a work in progress, and I'm still perfecting it, but it is something I'm very proud of, and I love seeing the signals operate in a prototypical fashion while I'm running trains.
It helps with preventing train crashes as well. And I know for me, sometimes I'm not paying attention, and especially if you have a layout where your train is going to disappear under the table, you might want some lights to let you know if you're about to barrel into an oncoming train.
Absolutely. They've come in handy many times because they do tell me which position some of these critical switches are in. And even with all the signals and even with me being the one who designed this layout, I still crash my trains on occasion. So
you heard it here.
I'm not immune to it either.
Not only did I get the Atlas Premier passenger cars at Stockyard Express, but I also found this GE 44 tonner in the Chesapeake and Ohio colors. This is an MTH Premier engine. And I thought, what better way to run it than to run it on Jason's layout? So let's jump back to Jason's layout, where I put it to the test with his die-cast intermodal freight cars. Those things were super heavy, and it was a lot of fun to test this engine out and see what it could do. I'm trackside on JDStucks' massive layout, and we're going to test my brand new MTH Premier GE 44 tonner in the C&O colors against 18 Atlas die-cast O-scale intermodal cars. Each one is packed with containers. These cars are extremely heavy. When you saw those running on the previous segment, Jason had at least 3 or 4 engines pulling these that were full-size, like SD70s or ES44s, like big diesel engines. But we're gonna have some fun here, see if this little guy can pull it. I really like the sound set on this engine, so check it out. So cool. Let's get a little toot toot. What do you think, C&O? Can we do it? We're ready to go. We put a little coupler slack on this. See if it's going to pull them. Again, 18 die-cast intermodal cars being pulled by this tiny 44 tonner. Here we go. It's got it. 18 die-cast cars GE 44 tonner. Look at all these. Heavy cars. I think now that we have some momentum going, we're going to be in great shape. All right, it's coming back around. Here it comes. Get a little toot toot. Just incredible. The pulling power of these engines has gotten so great, even in their small size. So I have to say, big thank you to Jason for letting us try out these massive intermodal cars. I don't have any of these cars on my layout. I actually have trestles that are slightly too short to fit cars of this height. I'm going to fix that this year. But since I don't have it or these cars, what a great opportunity to put this engine to the test. You can actually see Jason's dog Henry in the background here. Laying there. Henry loves the trains. What do you think, Jason?
I'm standing over here. There's no trick photography. This little guy's actually pulling those cars.
It's incredible. It's a mighty little engine. Good job, little guy. Well, Jason, thank you so much for having me out here.
My pleasure.
This was a great trip, and next time you're out on the East Coast, come see me.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for coming out. It's been an absolute blast, and I will be making it out your way sometime very soon.
It's going to be great. As always, a huge thank you to all of my subscribers, and I want to give a special shout out to one of my subscribers, RTB Trains. Thank you for all of your support, my friend. My name is Chris, and this is RBP Trains. We'll see you next time.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.